So I love my town, and there's some people in it that are jealous of me. I'm gonna just say it how I think it is. I really feel like there's some people in this town that just hate me and just don't like me and are jealous of me, but at the end of the day it's a reflection on themselves. And I really feel for these people because I've seen them, and briefly, I've actually never spoken to them. I've never spoken to them. At least maybe 3 of the 4 or 5 of them. Oh my god, how many are there? Maybe 6 or 7. It could be more, but I definitely know I have more love on my side, so it doesn't matter. But for these poor sad souls, they're projecting themselves like a part of me on there, and I go, yeah, I remember when I was like that. I remember when I disliked myself. I was having a really hard time with myself, and I projected that out onto the community. I pushed that onto anyone who could handle it, and I'm strong, so I can take their hatred, I can take their jealousy, I can take their frustration, because I've been there, I've done that, and I've grown from it. So now I can just hold that space for them and let that be, and all I have for them is love and light. So like I said, I'd never actually spoken to them, and they have this immense issue with me because maybe I travel around unregistered, and automatically that makes me a rebel. But to me, that I didn't like getting pushed around, and I didn't like people telling me what to do. I didn't like that they were taking my choice away. I didn't want to do what they wanted to do. I was here to do what I had to do. I've got my own purpose. If you want to pay registration and believe that it goes where it goes, then that's completely up to you, and that's your choice. That's fine. I've got a different way about it, and if anyone who really has any possibility of doing anything about it, hashtag starts with the police officers, then let you want to do business. We can do business, that's fine. I have a contract as well. I'm set up and I'm ready. I have a fee schedule. So let's go to where we go to get this sort of business done. And since we can't agree, we'll have to go to court and go through the process that way. And I'm fine with that. I've got no issues with that. I'm an open book. I'm very open. So what I'm doing, you already know. Yeah, I travel around unregistered, and some people just can't grasp that fact. And there's all this negativity pushed into it from programming, conditioning, what we're taught, to be right, and this and that, and just what we're taught to think. We don't go to school to learn how to be independent, strong, creative thinkers. The school is designed to make us think the way the government wants us to think, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm not judging here. If that's what you want to do, if you feel like you can't make your own decisions and you're incompetent, and you still haven't developed into an adult or been able to use your own mind in a more independent way, that's fine. I have no problem with that. I think the registration system has potential. I really believe that it has fantastic potential, but I don't believe, and it's just my belief, I don't feel like it's helping. And I've totally gone out on a rant here, and I have this beautiful curl in my hair. I never get curls. That is just a natural forming curl right there. Don't need no thin Lizzy. No way. Anyway, so there's people in my town. Oh no, I get sidetracked. There's people in my town that don't like me. And like I said, that's fine. I don't even know them. I don't even know these people enough to really have an opinion on them. That's why I'm just shutting all their comments down, because they're not making sense. Like, for an example, some random in my town, I guess a neighbour, says, "We've reported you to the police for graffitiing, They're not doing anything, why not?" And I commented and I said, well, actually, we've already reported ourselves. The police are fully aware of what we're doing. They think it's great we're circling potholes so that not just them, but other travellers on the road can see the hazard ahead and hopefully avoid any kind of problem or shit day like having to change a fucking tyre. Excuse the French. You know what? After learning how to change a tyre, I don't really mind about getting flats anymore. It's fun. I've dropped it before. That car. I dropped it. Thank God my foot wasn't under it, because then I wouldn't have one. So, anyway. yeah, so people don't like me in my town, they're writing stuff, and yeah, so this post online, and I just commented back, like, they know about it, they're you know, they're fine with it, they know where we live, in here, they know we're in here everywhere, and also, we're trying to get some of those graffiti removal kits, because I've been in some places in this town, and I don't like the graffiti in there, and as an example, I'll just say, under the bridge, there's some graffiti that says, "Someone loves anal," and it's like written on there 3 times. It's stupid kids, and that's fine. It's funny, but I don't want to be looking at that when I'm exercising. So I think that needs to be removed. Also, someone else graffitied, "I love meth," under there, and I'm like, what kind of fucking person writes that shit? Like, surely they don't. Surely they don't. No one writes that shit. It's just like more of a fucked up thing to write. So I'm like, I really want to get rid of that. So for the meantime, I've painted over it. Yeah, I've painted over it with my own money, with my own paintbrush, with my own energy, love and light, okay? But if I can get some free graffiti removal kits from the cop shop, I'm going to do that. So these people have just dobbed me in for graffitiing a pothole when I'm going to the cops to get graffiti remover to remove "I love meth" under our local bridge. Now, these people are making themselves look stupid because every time I happen to comment, they delete theirs. Get a life. And that's just one example. No, don't get a life, actually. Don't worry about it, because you're teaching me to love, and you're keeping me really inspired, and you're keeping me motivated. So you know what? I'm holding the space for him, but I'm holding it strong. I'm holding that space, but I'm holding it strong, and I'm also growing within myself, and hopefully maybe for them. That's just one example. As many examples of people, a very few amount of people in my town really disliking me. And you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of high school. But the difference is they're all behind screens as anonymous, and I'm everywhere in the community and not anonymous online. So it's just love and light, and I'm here, and I'm here. I train hard, I stand strong, I hold the line, I take the hit, but I am only just putting back out love and light because I'm strong enough to take it. I'm not retaliating, I'm responding with love. So I'm here if you ever want to chat. I'm having one with you now anyway. I don't care. I do care. I care about you very much, and I'm sad for you that you have to feel this way and take it out on someone who's training in Australian colours, obviously a huge patriot, loves their country, has family members that went to war, respects their elders. Okay, you just have a think of who you're having a go at and who you're trying to give a hard time to, you know, and that's just how it works. You know, these good people don't deserve it, but you know what? It happens. You know, they're giving me a hard time, and I don't mind. It's not taking up my energy. I actually wasn't going to train today, and then I saw one of their comments online, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to train today. So I know it might be hard for you at the moment, and I'm sorry about that. I really do feel for you because I've been in your position, but all I can really say is you have to go within and you know, try not project it on people you don't even know. It's okay if you do, and it's really good that you've picked someone strong. If you just happen to have picked on someone that maybe wasn't as strong, you can really do some damage to them. It's not fair. Like, if you've got a problem with your weight, don't give me a hard time about, you know, mine. Which just happens to be 3-4 times smaller than you. So you've got your problems, clearly. I can see that. You don't understand how I can be traveling freely. Well, it's pretty obvious. I'm free. It's that simple. I'm the curator of my own reality. I'm the director. I'm part of it as well. Sometimes I'll jump in and do some acting, but majority of the time I'm the director. So I say what goes. And if you don't like it, well, let's see your contract and maybe we can get something arranged. It's that simple. It's that simple. So, sound that. Oh, truck. So you've got issues, clearly. You give me a hard time for being unregistered. That's fine. You don't understand. You won't. You don't have those resources to understand, nor the patience or the interest to want to know. And how I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm not getting away with anything because I'm not doing anything wrong. If you've got your beliefs on a system, well, that's your belief, but I'm outside of that system. And if you want to debate that, then like I said, we can go to the court. I know I love it. I love the game. So let's go and just see how it goes on the court. Yeah, you know, That's where I like to do my stuff, is exercising. Let's do it through exercise. I don't need to describe. Oh, hear that? Oh, damn. He's going too quick too. God, I'm so keen to get out there and start training. The trucks are coming through. Anyway, obviously they just can't stand that I'm so young and I'm volunteering at an op shop already. They obviously just don't like that concept. You know, they obviously have a problem with me volunteering. Maybe they have questions like, how come you don't have to work? Well, I do work, actually. You know, how come why doesn't she have a job? You know, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't really care. They might be thinking, oh, how come she can volunteer? You know, doesn't she need to earn a living? Well, yeah, I've done that, but I didn't want to be a slave forever, so I made strategic and different choices than probably most other people have, or some, you know, maybe you. Maybe that's why it's coming up. You might have questions of how can I do what I do and still do what I do, sort of thing. Like, I don't know what your problem is. You've never come and talked to me, so how can I know? You're just projecting all this shit onto me, so I have to guess. And you know, I love a guessing game. So here we go. Yeah, I'm just guessing that you're frustrated that maybe, I don't know, you have to work or something. I don't know. You choose your reality. You're creating this. I'm creating mine. I can do what I want as long as I'm not enforcing my will on anyone or hurting anyone or committing fraud or theft. So unless I'm doing any of those things, I can do what I want to do, and I don't need you to like it or not. And if you don't agree, that's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm just really glad, yeah, again, I'm strong and can take you, man, you bloody... I can take your shit. It's making me stronger. Seriously, I love it. That's why school was good for me, because I got bullied and I had a choice. Do I let these effing heads get me down and break me? Do I just give up and screw this shit and the world's all fucked and fuck it all? Oh, another truck coming. Or do I go, you know what? Nah, fuck this shit. I've had enough of getting pushed around. Come here. Let's deal with it. You got a problem with me? Oh my God, touch me and I swear to God you won't touch me again unless I say it's okay. By the end of year 10, that was it. Everyone knew not to push me, because I would always push back harder, and you won't do it again, because I'm warning you with love and light that this is just a warning, and I never had to take it further than the warning. But sometimes I had to be very stern and extremely clear because people are thick, and I don't like being aggressive. I don't like having to protect myself physically. If we can avoid having to get to that point, that's fantastic. But if you come at me at that point, well, consider it a warning. Don't impose your will, and we're alright. And this goes for anyone or anything, okay? I just have love and light, and that's a problem to you, and I get it. But just know one day, if you keep biting, somebody's gonna bite back. And it's not gonna be me. Because you will break in love before you break in aggression. Now, I am going to train my little body to the max. I have my Aussies on today. Today I'm doing business. We got a contract with the semis. I'm crazy. That's another reason people don't like me, is because they don't know me. Who'd want to, right? No, my exercise explains everything. The way I move, the way I do what I do explains everything. I don't need to say anything. It explains it all. Because either way, you're not going to be listening, so I may as well be just dancing. Chia seeds.